Yeah, it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, whatever the connection is back here.
No, that's not it. That's not the one. That's a headphone thing. This one ain't connected to nothing. It runs here up to here.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's connected to behind there.
Yeah, 5 and 6 on the aux. Aux out, 5 and 6. You'd have to go to setup. One, two, 1, 2. Nope.
So I say just select.
Well, we gotta go to routing then to make sure it's going where we want it to go.
Right.
So we gotta go routing. Config, I think. All card.
Need to find somebody who know good with this board around here. Yeah, because what he was showing, what I was watching last night, it was showing that you can send. He created the live stream bus, the live stream output.
Getting a loan to pay off debt makes no sense. I used to think that too, but my credit cards were hitting me with 25% interest rate. So I checked out NerdWallet and I found a personal loan with a fixed rate of
What's up, everybody? It's Andrew Indris at Extend Audio and with AEIOU Studios. I'm here to show you guys a quick rundown. I've got a X32 rack here set up. We're in the routing page. I got it hooked up to an X-Touch here. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to run over some basics of the routing tab, because I know it's the thing that throws a lot of people for a loop, especially in high stress, high pace, fast paced environments. So yeah.
1, 2. Nope. phone. So if I say something, yeah. So it's getting to here.
Yep.
So that's correct, whatever you did right here. But for some reason, we aren't getting it to there. Oh, it's updated. No, it's now still doing. this should be lit up, and it's dark. Yeah, it should be moving.
Yeah, because I guess it ain't mapped right up in here. It ain't going. It's routed right, but
Hey, welcome back to Alum House Sound. Today we're going to do a quick question and answer. And this question doesn't have a person's name, but it does come from Pleasant Valley United Methodist. This is apparently in Connecticut. So the question says this, the statement, it says, we had an experienced individual who set up our board years ago. I've stepped in and been running the live stream for over a year now. And I want to be able to take our stream output that's currently the live sound mix from their house and separate that mix so that they can have a separate stream mix. I don't know how to do this, and I don't know what I don't know. How do you copy the main output to a mix bus, or is that possible? Thanks for accepting my ignorance. So for whoever you are, and if you're watching this question and trying to figure out how to make a separate mix from your house mix, what we can do is set up a mix bus, and I've got a video that I'm going to post up here. This talks about setting up mix buses for your live stream. It also talks about some routing in there as well, but the idea is pre-fader or post-fader is one of the things you're going to want to consider. Now you want to set up your house mix and get your house blend with all of your faders where you like them. And you've got two options at that point. Typically I recommend a stereo mix bus because while your house might be a mono environment and that's fine for your room, most listeners will want to experience a live stream in a stereo environment. So you want to link together an odd number and an even number mix bus. So whether it's 1 and 2 or 5 and 6 or 11 and 12, take an odd number and an even number, link those together. Then you get a stereo pair that you have the full spectrum of left and right to mix across, which is really nice. And when you add effects, bonus, they come in stereo as well. Now, we want to choose pre-fader or post-fader, and that discussion comes down to, do you only have one sound technician at a given event, or do you typically have two sound technicians, one that can mix the house mix and one that's dedicated for the live stream mix. And if you do have two sound technicians, then you can do what we call a pre-fader mix bus. And what that means is that your house mix has all of the inputs, and nothing that you do in that house mix will impact your live stream mix in a pre-fader mix bus environment. You've got full control of all of your inputs that you can build your own mix that's going to go out into that mix bus. Now, if you're like me and many other churches, we only have one sound technician. And so what we end up having to do is we build our house mix and we get our faders set up right. Then we have a post-fader mix bus environment for our live stream. And what that means is we go through and I always recommend using multi-tracks that we've recorded. We can put those tracks back through the console. We can tweak and set up, knowing where our house blend is going to be for the mix. We then solo the live stream mix and we start to bring each instrument up and build and craft that live stream mix. Now, once you have those set in the room, it's going to be hard. It's a challenge to try and mix both at the same time. You can slap on some headphones, you can do as much as you can, but it's hard to build the mix in the room for both environments. So at this point, we have to kind of trust what we've done. The example I always use is if we have a vocalist that is singing lead on one song and then background on another song, we want to pull that range will be followed plugins inside of a DAW, which is a digital audio workstation. This would run on a laptop. You can send audio across USB house and separate that mix so that they can have a separate stream mix. I don't know how to do this, and I don't know what I don't know. How do you copy the main output to a mix bus, or is that possible? Thanks for accepting my ignorance. So for whoever you are, and if you're watching this question and trying to figure out how to make a separate mix from your house mix, what we can do is set up a mix bus, and I've got a video that I'm going to post up here. This talks about setting up mix buses for your live stream. It also talks about some routing in there as well, but the idea is pre-fader or post-fader is one of the things you're going to want to consider. Now you want to set up your house mix and get your house blend with all of your faders where you like them. And you've got two options at that point. All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Matrix, a setup that you can use for live stream. A while back, I did make a video about the routing and how to make this work really quick, and that setup was just copying your main bus right onto your Matrix and then sending it out to your live stream. And that was a great option when we didn't have anybody in the actual room experiencing the music live, but we were just sending out to live stream. Well, now a lot of us have people back in the room. Maybe you don't want to go the aux bus route and you just want to use a Matrix. So we're going to dive into that and all of its intricacies and how I have laid mine out to do that. Disclaimer, I did this a couple weeks ago and I ran it in my live stream. I found out something that's very critical that can't work in my environment about 10 minutes before the service, and so I had to make some changes with all of our audio. We'll talk about that at the end, but let's jump into the console now and see what it looks like and how I've got mine set up and how maybe you might approach yours. Here we go. Okay, so let's start off talking about the Matrix scene that I built. Now, there are two different ways to do this. One is the way that I did, which starts with my main mix being sent into my Matrix, and then I use a separate bus to add on to that. The other one is just to build buses and send. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Dave and this is Alum House Sound. Today we're doing a video that's actually kind of a two-part video.